When it comes to living life, there's a lot to overthink, but I don't ever have to overthink my water. I've been drinking Smart Water for years and truly love its pure, crisp taste. It's vapor distilled through a process inspired by clouds. I love chic branding, and Smart Water's sleek bottle shape makes it the perfect accessory for any day bag, workout tote, or backpack. Smart Water is the smart way to hydrate no matter what you have going on in your life. Life is full of choices. Smart Water is a simple one. Visit drinksmartwater.com to learn more. Wellness lovers, I have curated a set to make checking off all your New Year's goals a little more luxurious. Our super limited edition gold set just launched, and I made sure to fill it with coveted brands across categories like fitness, nutrition, and self-care, all for 60% off the retail value. So if you want to level up with beloved products, some of my personal favorites by Pvolve, Olaplex, Intelligence of Nature, and more for a better, brighter you in 2024, head to CURATEUR.com. That's CURATEUR.com now. Be one of the first to order, and I'll add on a free gift. Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Zoe, and you're listening to Climbing in Heels. This show is all about celebrating the most extraordinary superwomen who will be sharing their incredible journeys to the top, all while staying glamorous. I'm so excited this week to interview two incredible women who are the founders of the mega successful brand Veronica Beard. These two women are sisters-in-law, married to actual brothers, and came together to create a brand for women that was a reflection of themselves and what they wanted from a women's brand. Both names Veronica Beard, which is kind of amazing. They're both working moms to 3 kids and 5 kids and have opened 32 Veronica Beard stores. They're sharing so many insights about how they built and grew their business, so let's get right into it. I'm very excited to have you on. I'm such a fan of the brand. I love what you guys do. I have so many women in my life that love your brand. And, you know, and I always love badass females that work really hard and create something to be proud of and means something to people, because, you know, probably one of the things I get asked the most at this point in my life is how to build a brand. How did I build my brand? And my answer is, I wish I could ever tell you that, but I can't. So I'm very happy to have you guys on. I do want to start for a minute by just sharing with our listeners, like, how you met and like just a little bit of how you formed this brand, because, you know, it's kind of ironic and funny and twisted and amazing.
It is. It's like a bad movie, and then it's a good comedy.
Yeah, exactly. I imagine you guys feel like you're living in a comedy sketch all the time, no?
Basically. So we're like, you know,
we have that mother who named us all Veronica.
Yeah, that's really funny.
We met 22 years ago.
Is it that long ago?
Longer than that, because it's the night that I met my husband. We were at a wedding.
Oh my God.
And I had just moved to New York. I was at Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
I was single and seated next to my now husband, who was also single. And Veronica was there with her husband, who's my husband's brother.
Okay.
And they were married. She was gorgeous, pregnant with her first baby.
One of 5.
Always pregnant.
Always
One
pregnant.
of 5. This was the first one. This was the first one. And we both had the same reaction when we were introduced. Like, there's no other Veronica. Like, no one's ever, I'd never met another Veronica. She'd never met another.
Well, they
Veronica.
said, I want to introduce you to the other Veronica.
Yeah. They're like, really?
I'm like, oh, because there's only 2 in the world.
But we were seated across from each other, and Jamie, my now husband, was super forward and, like, you know, working hard that night. And I just kept looking at him thinking, God, there's never going to be 2 Veronica Beards. And I wasn't even trying to be like a crazy, like,
right, of course.
I was like, this guy's nuts. Like, this is not going to go anywhere. Anyway.
Meanwhile, I was winking at him and saying, get on that, because that would be very cool to have two Veronica Beards. And he was like, oh my God, I'm on it.
Oh my God.
I'm on it.
Well, anyway, we were together ever since. But
That's amazing. And that was 22 years ago.
that was 22 years ago.
I love that. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's amazing.
And-
So fun fact, you guys, my just sidebar, my dad's younger brother married my mom's younger sister.
Oh
My
yeah.
dad's younger brother married your
So
mom's
two
younger-
brothers, two sisters got married.
Oh,
Well, it's also funny. I mean,
well, that's even more interesting than us.
yeah.
No,
that is-
but you guys have the same name, so I think it's a tie.
No, but my sister and I are both married to James, which is like, I mean, that's a
But
more-
it's different
very
last
common
names,
name.
so it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
That is
yeah.
wild, you
The
guys.
whole thing is weird. But
That's wild.
we
And so is
basically,
Steph.
yeah, we basically we met that night, became great friends. I was in fashion, Veronica was in finance, and it was a lot of years of talking in the corner of parties and family gatherings, and being obsessed with product and what was missing in the market, and brands that we loved, ideas that we had, maternity ideas, importing bags from Europe. I mean, there was a lot of ideas. Thank God we didn't act on any of them, really.
No, it's
But and then really we
We did act on that, Jacket and Dickie.
well, we did,
Yeah,
but
we were
not
like, we
no,
gotta
we
do
didn't
this.
act on the other maternity.
Yeah, that was
we were
a
like
nightmare.
maternity clothes that you can wear, in pregnancy.
yeah,
and
because
then
when you're
after.
pregnant, all you want to do is make things for pregnant people because you realize
Right.
how hellish it is.
Oh my
for us.
God, yeah.
But
And
then
you
when
wanna
you're
burn
done,
them.
yeah,
You're
you wanna
like,
burn it.
don't even.
There's no longevity, no
Yeah,
investment
no,
in
yeah,
maternity.
no one is going to be.
It's a
But you
real
only
turn.
realize that when you live it, right?
Correct.
So we saw this Jacket and Dickie concept, and we were like, wait, every woman needs this. They had this for men. We need a uniform for women,
Yep.
and interchangeable one, and one that you style, one that you live in, day, night.
And
Work,
the best
play.
brands start with one singular product,
Yeah.
so that was,
True.
we came out with a very unique product that didn't exist on the market, that stood out and, was tactile, and people were drawn to it on a rack, and Gwyneth Paltrow was drawn to it. That was
remember
really
that.
exciting because that was a big launch moment for us.
It doesn't get bigger.
Yeah, but it was really, things are born out of necessity, right? It's like, what's the quote one of my favorite quotes is, necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah.
And
It's true.
and that is so true. It was like women needed suits, but in this way that was very like lifestyle dynamic. You could
Yeah.
wear it like over your leggings. You could wear it with a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
You could wear it with leather
So
leggings.
we
however
called
you
it
want.
the Wonder Woman cape because you put that thing on
Yes.
and you slayed dragons.
Yes. Yes.
And we said, every woman needs to feel this way. And that jacket changed your life,
Right.
and every woman needed to feel that way. So it wasn't just selling a product, it was selling a philosophy of product, right?
Right.
It's like how you feel when you wear this, how it fits you, how it suits you, the color, how you style the Dickie, how you wear it.
Well, I mean, so it's so interesting. So you were starting this in what, 2010, 11? 2010. Okay. So you guys both are in the middle of having kids. You're married, you're birthing children, clothing, and all the things. So because it's, it's interesting. Like, I think being a working mom, which obviously you guys probably know very well, is probably the hardest part of your life, just because you're pulled in both. I always say it's like, feels like a tug of war because you have guilt on both sides, right? You want to
Totally.
be there 100% for your kids, but as the founder of your brand, it's you or nobody, right? For most of it. And I think, to your point, I think, necessity, it's constantly trying to figure out what women need, right? What women need, what isn't out there in this way, and what are you bringing to the table, right? That's unique and different. So what possessed you guys to want to, in the midst of having like all these kids, be like, I want to work my ass off right now. We want to launch this brand. We have this to say. Were you scared? Because it's very scary. Like, I've been there, and it's scary. It's like you're putting yourself out there. You have to like, it's a super high risk business. Most don't succeed. You guys are crushing it. But I imagine it's not easy. Can you share a little bit of like, the beginning? Like, what were you like, let's launch a full scale, full collection, full brand. Like, I guess what I'm saying is like, how'd you go from the one piece to the everything?
Yeah, it didn't start off that way. It started off as, first of all, we had one rack of jackets made out of remnant fabrics for Mood.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like, bam, we started with
of course, never.
We had a binder with little swatches of fabric, and it was basically like a jotter, like how many jackets we could make out of that bolt of fabric. And we had like 20 bolts of fabric. I mean, we became best friends. What we should have done is had a TV show when we were back in the Mood days.
Right, of course. Like the making of the brand.
It was like that show.
That was the really good days.
Yep.
So we started with that, and we had, connections in fashion. I had been a buyer. I'd worked in wholesale.
Yep.
Knew people in PR, and so we started showing the collection out of my apartment with a rack of clothing, and that at the end of that, at that market, we had 8 accounts. So it was like, oh my God, we have a business. We have to do this. And we ran around all over the, garment district getting it done. And it was more about what we didn't know, right, I think, which was the fun part. I mean, we were dumping boxes at Saks Fifth Avenue and didn't know how to label them right. And,
Yeah, but I have to say, like, I feel like we knew in our gut that this was a product that we loved and we knew was going to sell. We knew every woman needed this thing. And when you make decisions in life and you go with your gut, and you take a risk on something that you believe in, it's pretty much, successful. I was used to, I ran trading desks, and I was used to making quick decisions on big money.
Yep.
And it was like, you had to go with your gut. You had to make the decision and stick with it and support it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that when
you have to believe the sale, basically.
Right. And when you design something, like, we spent a lot of our time going and meeting the customer and selling it, selling the dream, selling this piece, and, refining the fit, refine, and making it elevated, making it so that this thing, and why was she going to choose ours and not somebody else's?
That's what I always said.
Because of the Dickie, right? It was like, oh my gosh, what is this hood?
Yeah.
Why is this attached? Why have I never seen this before? Oh my God, it's interchangeable. And, one of the stores called up and said, guys, I've sold out of Dickies. I need more. And so we were like, what? Like, we're on to something. We need more Dickies,
Wow,
and so
amazing.
It was a concept that we thought we have to sell this concept. So I think that it definitely snowballed. The business wasn't just created. It was something that they wanted it, and we made it. And then we figured out what else were we missing in this wardrobe.
And where were you making everything, you guys? Here in the States?
Yes.
But not now.
No. Now we're all over the world.
Yeah,
I mean, now production is
everywhere.
In
we
15 countries. But
we always did knitwear and silk in China.
Yeah.
But the tailoring was here.
It was fully fashion knitwear.
Yeah, of course.
But I think also just on a personal level, I think that for me, it was so much about being a mom was fulfilling, but having really like personal creative fulfillment was really, really important to me. And it was something that was so scary. Like, I always say, since I was 4 years old, this is my dream come true, what I've always wanted. But it wasn't until I had Veronica and felt that it was actually possible, because we are very yin yang, and what were my strengths have become her strengths, and her strengths have become my strengths, and that's, 13 years later.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
It was amazing to have a partner to do this. Obviously, it was super amazing to have a partner with the same name because we could be in two places at once.
Literally.
And people didn't really care. And back in the beginning, Veronica's hair was blonder, so it was even easier.
I quickly went brunette.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's not going to be two blonde Veronicas too. We're not Betty over here.
Yeah.
Right. I was going to say, you need a Betty.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
I think my mom is one of the most incredibly creative women who should have done 1,000 different things and still talks about all the things she's going to do. And I always, really, I was so aware that she didn't get that piece because she was being an amazing wife to my dad and, a great mom to us and those things, but she was missing that. And I think it's really important for women to feel that true fulfillment.
Yep.
I think you're a better mom for it,
I agree.
I think that's the balance question. Everyone's always like, how do you have balance? Well,
totally. And you know what I always say? I don't.
Yeah, no.
It's a question that I think has to sort of be like rephrased. It's sort of like, because there is no such thing. And I think everyone thinks that, oh, this person has it so figured out. And I don't think it is that. I think some days you feel great about just working and some days you feel great about just mommying. And some days you try to do both at the same time and that usually doesn't work. But at the same time, I think it's important because I think exactly what you just said about your mom. I have the same thing. My mom, I always say in another life, my mom would have been the #1 stylist in the world. Like it's absolutely her calling. It just didn't exist. And she would have never thought like, oh, I should leave the kids and my husband to go work and travel with clients and what, she wouldn't happen.
I feel like the brand for me, from my vantage, came out of a lot of learnings of life, right? That imbalance, right? Like when I was getting ready for work, I was trying to go to finance to a desk with many men and I wanted to look, legit. And still I loved fashion and I vibed supermodel. I wanted to look like them, So I'm getting ready in the morning and I'm watching my husband put this suit and tie on and walk out. And he's like, I'm meant to work. I'm meant to be a badass because I've got my suit and tie on.
Yep.
What the hell do we have?
Right.
What do women have? And it's like, it never would have dawned on me if I didn't have to go there with him and get ready in 10 minutes.
Yep.
And that jacket was the answer, And so I feel like out of that imbalance, we've come up with a lot of different concepts. Like we have this concept of hustle here.
Yep.
Or, we talk about the doers and the movers and the shakers, and that's who our customer is. And so it's because we are like her. And as busy as we are and all the chaos, we know that she's got the same thing going on. So let us answer your questions. Let us, give her what she needs.
I also will stand by the fact that I think truly successful brands, the only brands I know to be successful, are authentic to who the founders are. Right. And it's also, as you said, like filling this great white space of this woman that wants to be chic, this woman that needs to look good. She has a strong mind. She has a big life. Right. And, I do also want to point out that it is incredibly difficult to succeed in what you're doing. And I can say that because I've been on every side for over 20 years. My best friends are the greatest designers in the world that I've watched with their own struggles, working for the biggest houses in the world, the most funded, the most supported, the most PR'd, the most everything, right? And then I've seen a lot of small businesses go up and down and sideways and backwards. And, I really do believe that it is very much about the business of fashion because first and foremost, you have to have an incredible product. You have to have founders that are amazing and authentic. And also it has to be, has to mean something to people and it has to stay the quality. You have to maintain the quality and of great product ultimately, right? When it comes to living life, there's a lot to overthink. Like most working moms, I am constantly juggling my work and my family life, and sometimes all that decision making is truly exhausting. But at least I don't ever have to overthink my water. I've been drinking Smart Water for many, many years and truly love its pure, crisp taste. It's vapor distilled through a process inspired by clouds and has added electrolytes for taste. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, every morning, is head down to my kitchen to drink water. Hydrating with Smart Water is my favorite way to start the day, and making that simple choice is such a refreshing change of pace from the whirlwind of my life. Starting my day by focusing on myself and my health is so important to me. I'm always a lover of chic branding and packaging, and Smart Water's sleek bottle shape makes it the perfect accessory for any day bag, workout tote, or backpack. I absolutely love how the rounded bottle fits perfectly into my kids' side pockets for school or camp. Smart Water even looks chic displayed on any counter or vanity in my house. As most moms know, it can be tricky to get kids to drink enough water, but my boys absolutely love the taste of Smart Water, and the sports cap is great for their very, very active days. Smart Water is the smart way to hydrate no matter what you have going on in your life. Life is full of choices. Smart Water is a simple one. Visit drinksmartwater.com to learn more.
My dad works in B2B marketing, but I never really knew what that meant. Then one day my dad came by my school for career day and told everyone in my class he was a big MQL man. Then he just kept saying things like, the more MQLs, the better, over and over. My friends still laugh at me to this day. I think it means marketing qualified lead. One thing's for sure. I'll be known as the MQL man's kid for the rest of my days. Why couldn't you just be a fireman or a lawyer? Why? You ruined my life, Dad.
Not everyone gets B2B, but LinkedIn has the people who do. And with ads on LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people based on job title, industry, likelihood to buy, and more. Start converting your B2B audience into high-quality leads today. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/customer to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/customer. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
AI might be the most important new computer technology ever. It's storming every industry, and literally billions of dollars are being invested. So, buckle up. The problem is that AI needs a lot of speed and processing power. So how do you compete without costs spiraling out of control? It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI is a single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs. OCI has 4 to 8 times the bandwidth of other clouds, offers one consistent price instead of variable regional pricing, and of course, nobody does data better than Oracle. So now you can train your AI models at twice the speed and less than half the cost of other clouds. If you want to do more and spend less, like Uber, 8x8, and Databricks Mosaic, take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/strategic. That's oracle.com/strategic. oracle.com/strategic.
When it comes to living life, there's a lot to overthink. Like most working moms, I am constantly juggling my work and my family life, and sometimes all that decision making is truly exhausting. But at least I don't ever have to overthink my water. I've been drinking Smart Water for many, many years and truly love its pure, crisp taste. It's vapor distilled through a process inspired by clouds and has added electrolytes for taste. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, every morning, is head down to my kitchen to drink water. Hydrating with Smart Water is my favorite way to start the day, and making that simple choice is such a refreshing change of pace from the whirlwind of my life. Starting my day by focusing on myself and my health is so important to me. I'm always a lover of chic branding and packaging, and Smart Water's sleek bottle shape makes it the perfect accessory for any day bag, workout tote, or backpack. I absolutely love how the rounded bottle fits perfectly into my kids' side pockets for school or camp. Smart Water even looks chic displayed on any counter or vanity in my house. As most moms know, it can be tricky to get kids to drink enough water, but my boys absolutely love the taste of Smart Water, and the sports cap is great for their very, very active days. Smart Water is the smart way to hydrate no matter what you have going on in your life. Life is full of choices. Smart Water is a simple one. Visit drinksmartwater.com to learn more. When it comes to living life, there's a lot to overthink. Like most working moms, I am constantly juggling my work and my family life, and sometimes all that decision making is truly exhausting. But at least I don't ever have to overthink my water. I've been drinking Smart Water for many, many years and truly love its pure, crisp taste. It's vapor distilled through a process inspired by clouds and has added electrolytes for taste. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, every morning, is head down to my kitchen to drink water. Hydrating with Smart Water is my favorite way to start the day, and making that simple choice is such a refreshing change of pace from the whirlwind of my life. Starting my day by focusing on myself and my health is so important to me. I'm always a lover of chic branding and packaging, and Smart Water's sleek bottle shape makes it the perfect accessory for any day bag, workout tote, or backpack. I absolutely love how the rounded bottle fits perfectly into my kids' side pockets for school or camp. Smart Water even looks chic displayed on any counter or vanity in my house. As most moms know, it can be tricky to get kids to drink enough water, but my boys absolutely love the taste of Smart Water, and the sports cap is great for their very, very active days. Smart Water is the smart way to hydrate no matter what you have going on in your life. Life is full of choices. Smart Water is a simple one. Visit drinksmartwater.com to learn more.
I think what you said is, the white space is all that we talk about. It's like her lifestyle, and every season, every delivery, it's like, what is she doing? What does she need? What is she shopping for then? Where is she going? What's the weather? What's the zeitgeist? All those things. Every designer does that. But I think for us, truly, like what you said, we are our customer. Mm-hmm. Truly.
Yeah.
Like, we are living her life. Yep. We walk in her shoes. We know the hustle from 7 a.m. to midnight. And that woman is, in her 20s, just starting out, and she's in her 80s. Yep. And it's everybody in between. And that really has been the success. It's like, there's a lot of brands that do, evening wear a lot better than us, or print or whatever, but we're really delivering this uniform and this whole, like, the core sort of pieces of your wardrobe that are like your real lifeblood to getting ready.
And I think, how many stores do you guys have now?
32. That
is crazy. All US?
No, we have one in London and one in Toronto.
Nice.
And then we have 3 shop-in-shops in South Korea.
My God. And I imagine your D2C is huge.
Yes. We're like, and that's been actually the most amazing part of this, sort of growing up in the last 13 years of retail, where, when we started, it was all wholesale. Mm-hmm. And, we were then sort of, all of these really, like, disruptor, digitally native brands were coming up, and we were sort of feeling like a little bit like dinosaur. Uh-huh. And then it flipped. And I think,
as it does.
Yeah. And I think what we've learned from the 13 years of business, starting out being 100% wholesale and now flipping to being, the majority DTC, mm-hmm. Is you have to be good at every channel, right? And our whole thing is about omni, and, our customer wants to be wherever she wants Veronica Beard wherever she buys Veronica Beard,
That's the thing about D2C is, like, it's a trust in the brand and knowing that what you're buying online without trying it on, right? Like, because not everyone is people like us that, like, knows this will look good on us and this won't, and this fit and this size. They know when they go to you guys that they're getting something amazing and they feel confident, because that's the only way that D2C survives. Truthfully.
Right. Fit and quality.
Yeah. Well, it's trust in the brand. You have to, because a lot of it's repeat buying, probably most of it.
Yeah. And it's about how you're made to feel.
Yeah.
Customers will come back if they're thought about, if they're considered.
100%. And your stores are great. And I imagine that's an experience too.
That is so much fun. Yeah. It's like decorating a home every time.
I was going to say, I feel like when you are successful with stores, that's like the dream, because you get to, you get to really put your message and your brand out exactly the way you want it, versus being in multi-retailers where it's like, okay, there's 6 pieces here. There's 1 piece on a mannequin. There's 3 other designers on that mannequin with our top, or like, this is just you. And then, when that works, I mean, that to me is the golden ticket,
Well, we love it. It's so fun. And we get to, for me, interiors are my like great, great, great love. And so to do that is so fun.
You guys are so great. I mean, I'm so impressed with you. Honestly, I really am. And I love the clothes. I mean, I love the clothes, and I have so many people in my life that live in it, which is also so nice,
I know you need to send you some Florence Flair.
Yeah,
we need to send you a lot of different things,
but
and things that you
the Florence Flair
might not have tried before.
Appreciate. They're very gorgeous.
No, they're very.
I am so about it. I'm really a fan. I love it.
Sheridan.
Yeah.
I love it. And I do want to know a little bit, something I do want to talk about, because it's something that, pendulum always swings, right? And I want to talk to you a little bit about the influencer movement, because, I'm someone, it's kind of funny because I got an award in New York, like a big award many years ago. And I was called the Fashion Oracle. And it was at one of those big, like, FGI or whatever, one of those big award shows at Cipriani or whatever. And I remember at the time,
I'll take that.
Yeah, but I just remember at the time looking at my husband as I was like putting on my gown. He's like, "What's the award for again?" I'm like, "I don't know." I'm like, "An Oracle." And I literally was like, "I don't even actually know what this is." And I remember him saying to me, my father saying to me, "It's someone who influences people," right? And I didn't think anything of it. And I went through the night, and I just remember being so nervous because of who was in that room. And since that time, as you know, the influencer movement, and I don't consider myself an influencer, but I think my question is, what is your perspective on influencers, influencer marketing, the whole culture of it? Do you think there's some that, I would say I think that the best ones are standing because they're truly authentic to who they are and what they do and what they believe in. But I'm curious to know how influencers have played a role in your brand. How big, how small, what your thoughts are.
Well, I think that, again, because we've been around for 13 years, that...
By the way, it's not 100, just be clear.
Right. But it feels like...
You're aging yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
I know, chill.
Well, I'm just saying...
I'm just kidding.
But it's funny because, when we started, it was, you were the Oracle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was an influencer culture was very different.
Right.
There was much fewer influencers.
I didn't even know what that was, you guys, 13 years ago.
Well, we also didn't consume, all sorts of content and creation at the furious rate that we do today.
It was television.
There was no Instagram back then.
No, it was television.
It was barely a phone.
Yeah. So, I think that whether it was you or Gwyneth Paltrow, who were influencers when we started, right? And both of you remain huge influencers. I think, it's celebrities, it's influencers, big influencers, it's micro influencers, it's regional influencers. Our customer to us is the biggest influencer.
Right.
I mean, truly what we care the most about is the grassroots word of mouth business that we've built. Mm-hmm. And we started that when we started, having trunk shows all over the country, getting together with these women and really learning from her and, getting a lot of feedback on the product and the fit and the fabrics and all that kind of stuff. So to us, I think the influencer piece is always going to be really important. How that sort of presents itself, whether it's like a TikTok influencer or an Instagram influencer or an actress.
But it's a part of your plan, like meaning.
Totally. I mean, that's marketing.
And
I'm saying that's your marketing plan. That works for you.
And it's community. It's community building, and it's influencers within community, and then ones that create a community on our behalf. Even it's like it could be, and where we find a lot of them in strange places, like a basketball coach, a female basketball coach who's like, been ridiculed for being, distraction.
Yeah.
Well, let's double down on that distraction,
Totally.
Or a doctor
Yep.
wearing it under her scrubs,
Yep.
like curing cancer and
Totally.
famous for that.
100%.
And people are like, you know what? You look great every day
Yep.
and you feel good every day. So
Yep.
it's your energy that's influencing me,
Yep.
We always say that. I mean, it's, what's the Nike movie Air?
Yeah.
And we've been saying this long before I saw the movie or read the book, but it's the same for any product, right? Like that product doesn't have life until someone steps into it, right?
Sure.
The Air Jordan wasn't the Air Jordan until Michael Jordan got into it. And Veronica Beard blazer or a suit or a dress or shoes or whatever, it's about what that woman does in that gets other people to look at her and say, oh, I want that too,
Really?
So that anybody can design a blazer or a Dickie jacket or anything, but it's really about what the wearer, that person does in it.
Well, I consider the influencers in this type of situation, and I imagine this is true for you guys, is that the women that are buying your clothes, whether it's people that you bring in as part of your marketing story, or they're actually just women that are influencers within their friend group, because it's always that woman, right? It's that woman who's like the one that all the girls consider the queen bee with style, or it's smart or successful or whatever it is, and she's wearing your clothes. Right. And so, we did this as a couple of years ago in our business, and we found that there was a lot of people following us that were considered to be the influencers in their group, whether it's 10 people, 100 people, 500 people. That's the thing. So
the micro influencers.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm so impressed with you guys. What is next? What is next? What are you excited about? And also, before I actually ask that question, I do want to ask you, because I think a lot of people building brands and really struggling, I would love to know sort of, has there ever been a moment where you were like, I'm out. This is crazy. I'm not doing this anymore. Like, have you been so scared or so discouraged that you were like, I give up, I can't do this? Or like, what has been some of your greatest challenges and fears along the way?
I mean, I have one moment where in the beginning, so we have like year 3, our business was at this point where it was like, commercially it was taking off, but we also weren't like running it properly.
Right.
We didn't have infrastructure. It had become real, but we were sort of not fully prepared for it being real, right? Sure. And there's somebody who was going to invest. And it was sort of, to me, felt like this is going to be the golden ticket. This is going to legitimize us. Like, we're going to feel great. We're going to have, money in the bank account to make payroll. Like, it's gonna be
And entrepreneurial stuff.
Yeah. And I remember Veronica and I don't live in the city anymore, but Veronica and she still drives everywhere, but we would drive all the time in the city. And like,
I was always pregnant.
Right.
Which, by the way, no one does. I was always pregnant. You were pregnant for like 15 years.
So I was driving. So she was driving. And I was like hand delivering boxes.
Well, you never know when she has to like detour to a hospital to like give birth.
Right. Exactly.
I'll have it in the car.
I could take the wheel. I was in the car and I had dropped off the kids at school. And I was waiting for this call that we were expecting. And the phone rang and I was like, oh my God, this is coming. And I'll never forget. It was like the Matthew McConaughey book, Green Light or
right.
It was this very defining moment where what I thought he was going to say, he said the exact opposite.
And your whole entire insides dropped out of your body.
Yes. And he said it in the most lovely, I understood it. I didn't want to kill him. I was just like, oh my God, I was so discouraged. And I remember it was so clear to me. I was at the light and the light turned green and I was like, there is 2 things I can do here. I can turn this into, and it's like Taylor Swift when she's like, that was gas. I was like, yes, that was gas. And it was like, it was the nose, I think, became became really fuel for us to keep going.
Yes,
and to
of course.
prove that we could do it.
There was never a time where either of us were ever going to abort ship.
No.
It was always, that's a blessing that they said no.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was.
But you typically don't know that until later.
Of course.
Well, yes.
But
because in the moment, it's terrifying.
God closes a door and he opens a window.
Right.
Yeah. And we love the word no because we're going to find a way.
Well, don't tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tell us no.
Well, don't tell us no, but also you tell me no and I'm going to figure it out and it'll be yes, anyway.
Common thread.
You'll be back and it'll be too late. Or
Common thread on climbing in heels.
Yeah.
It's about people. I think you can only withstand the insanity of founding your own business and continuing it through getting your ass kicked, getting no's, getting doors closed, getting the things that you think are going to happen and just don't. And in the moment, you feel like it's over, right? In the moment, you're like, and then you go, no, I understand that this is happening for a reason and this fully sucks right now and I got to figure out how to turn this around. And then once you do, you inevitably look back and be like, remember when, blah, blah, blah. But for me, at least, it wasn't until I had enough of those where I was able to safely, securely say, I know that this is happening for a reason. And like, you get to be more rational. Like I know for me, like in my 20s, right? And in my early 30s, I would just be like, oh my God, it's over. It's over. Everything's done. Everyone hates me. I'm fired.
Let's go back to Wall Street. And the
exactly.
Okay? It's never over.
Right.
And it's only opportunity. And it's like, that's what we're upset about. That's nothing.
Right.
It's like people's worlds fell apart.
Yep. Isn't it amazing how much your job served you before you started this?
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible because you know how quick and fast and.
But beyond that, it's like just, I don't know. This is lovely. This is like, sport. This is fun.
Yes.
That was like.
Yes. Feast or famine.
I was like, oh my God, I'm responsible for way too much here. Not sleeping.
Yes. Okay. So you have loved it beyond. It's hard and it's all the things. What keeps you guys awake at night?
Oh, everything.
Oh my God.
I'm taking your kids out of it as it pertains to work because my kids keep me awake at night.
As it gets bigger, there's so much more to lose.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's not even financial. It's like, the loyalty of the customer, our employees, which are like the lifeblood of this business.
Interest rates.
The
economy, okay.
Spoken like a true finance girl.
Yeah.
World macroeconomic events. Yeah. Oh my God.
How many? How big is your team, you guys? How big is your team now?
We have over 300 employees.
Stop it.
Yes.
Guys, it's a huge business.
Guys, like we have issues, it's like to worry about.
And we got through that.
Of course. No, I mean, I'm just saying.
No, like more well, you know what I say, more people, more problems.
Is she going to shop or not?
Right.
Yeah, I think you've got to like, as a creative and as a business person, I think you have to like keep your head down and, blinders on to like really looking at like, focusing on vision and what you do and what you're about and at the same time, like popping your head up to see what's going on. But if you start actually like, freaking out and comparing yourself to other people,
that's when
you get lose track.
We have to be nimble. And a wise man told me when we were building another business, do not build the stadium before the fans.
Yes. I am a Virgo, so I agree.
In anything we're doing, and we survived through COVID.
Yeah,
yeah. And it's like thank God that we just kept moving forward and knew she'd be back. Yeah. But also if you've got a good product, it should sell in any tape.
I agree.
And you just got to be nimble and keep adjusting inventory levels, keep adjusting trend wise, whatever it is, adjust, and she's going to come.
I could not agree more. And the fact that you guys have been together this long, by the way, how is that? You're very lucky to have each other because having a good partner that you don't want to hit with a baseball bat on a daily basis is wonderful. So tell me how it is to work together, because you guys kind of do everything together. I mean, not really, but you know what I mean. You're very connected, personally and professionally.
We're very connected. It's funny because when we started this, it was, again, we didn't have an office. Then finally we got an office. We were in one room. Veronica and I still share the same office. Not the same space that we did originally, but we're still in one office together with 2 desks. And
I love that.
Really because in a lot of ways we operate as this one being.
But we have to give each other that space.
Yeah, of course.
And that respect to be who we are.
Yeah.
It's hard having 2 Veronicas.
Yeah.
And we are really different. And we always say one perspective, 2 visions, 1 perspective.
Yep.
1 perspective.
1 vision, 2 perspectives.
No, 2 perspectives, 1 vision. Yes. 2 perspectives, 1 vision. Okay. We always say that, but
I knew what you meant.
We need more coffee.
But you know what? We have to really respect that space. And it's tough sometimes because we might see something differently, or we might
have different style.
Or have different opinions, and they're both valid.
They are.
And, we have to step back and go, all right, I have to listen to her.
Yep.
I have to trust her.
Yep.
I'm not going to die on that mountain.
Yep.
But we're both super passionate about how we feel.
Yep.
So it's really hard to give that space sometimes.
But I actually think the 2 perspectives is actually so much better. Honestly.
It is. It just multiplies actually the clothes and the
correct.
customer.
That's what I mean, because there is no one woman, right? There is no one woman with the same anything. So it's like
everyone's valid. Everyone wins. Everybody's got a voice.
Yes.
So you got to respect it and move and let that person run. It's like, if you believe that so much, then go with it. Let's see what happens.
Do your husbands die for you guys, or do they think you're batshit crazy?
No, I mean, the best. My husband's very, 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 they've both been amazing supporters and believers and partners. And I think that have respected our space in this, which is really important.
It's the dream. And you have so many kids, and I love it because you get to raise your kids together. Your husbands are, it's like it all just works. And I love anything that feels like a family business, which it is obviously kind of sort of in all ways of differentness. And
there's a safety in that too.
Yeah, 100%.
Thing where it's like, you got to carry me today. I feel like shit.
Right. Exactly.
I'm on the plane in Miami and she's like, I don't feel well. I'm staying home.
Yeah.
Like, you do what's your, it's just like,
yes,
I'm
you have
here.
each other's backs.
And there's this thing that you're part of that you're like, thank God that we have this big, family here.
I love it.
The whole place is our family.
I love it so much. I'm so honestly impressed with you guys. I am so impressed with the business. I love your brand. I adore you both. I think you're just fantastic, honestly, all around. I think you're I don't know, just all the things. And I do want to reiterate that, to me, just having lived in it for most of my life, it is one of the hardest things to do, to build a fashion brand. It just is. It just is. And I think if you can win at it, really executing on your vision and your dream and your creativity and all the things, and get to have a family and you guys as partners, it really is the dream. It's a very rare thing. I hope you guys recognize that. It is very rare. So I love watching your success. I've watched it from the beginning. And I just, I wish you guys the best. I'm very excited for you. And I'm very excited to see what's to come. It's that time in the show when I answer 2 listener questions. So let's see what we have today. Okay, funny, was just talking about this. What was your favorite look at the Golden Globes? I would say for me, it was J-Lo and Nicole Felicia. And I think that's a combination of her being J-Lo and just owning that look and taking the carpet down when she walked in. And I always really appreciate a moment where someone just goes there with the full regalia because I truly miss it. I really miss those moments, and we can always turn to Jennifer Lopez for them. So I think that, and then I loved Margot Robbie because she just looked like, you know, the most gorgeous Barbie ever with the most gorgeous Hollywood smile ever. And the thing I love about Margot Robbie is like whatever she's wearing to me is so secondary to her. And I just feel like no matter how amazing or not amazing, whatever she might be wearing is, I look at her first. And that's like a very rare thing. I just think her smile, she has that smile that I have not seen since like Julia Roberts, where like that smile just lights up any room that she walks into. So I just love that. And who else? I loved Elle Fanning. I thought Haley Steinfeld looked really chic in Old Hollywood. I thought that was super pretty. But those are probably my favorites of the night. Okay, I saw on Instagram that you had a migraine. What do you treat your migraines with? It's interesting. I never had migraines in my entire life. And then when I got pregnant with my first son, I would get like headaches periodically. And then I think since I've had my kids, I find I get, when I'm really run down and exhausted or really, really stressed, I'll get like a bad tension headache, honestly. And so unfortunately, because of my acid reflux, I can't take like hardcore migraine medicine. I can't take like Excedrin or Advil or any of those because they're really hard on my stomach. So I end up just taking Tylenol and like trying to just close my eyes. And then I just wait till it goes away and I just live with it. Funny enough, my sweet little baby angel son, Caius, was on my computer and on Amazon and found something for migraines. And he actually purchased in my account something that says used to treat and cure migraines. And it's like some kind of head ice pack for migraines. And so I now have that. So the next time I get hit with one, I'm going to try this head ice pack that my son got me, and I'll let you know how that goes. So don't forget to submit your questions for next week's episode. All you have to do is DM us your questions to @ClimbingHeelsPod on Instagram, and I might just answer your question. Thank you so much to both Veronicas for being on the pod today. Honestly, their work ethic and dedication to refining and perfecting their beautiful, beautiful products is such an important key to a successful business and, more importantly, to a successful brand. Because I would argue to say that probably building a brand and making a brand, creating a brand that means something to people, that people want to go back to and are loyal to and truly love, to me, is the ultimate challenge. And they've clearly proved that they have the recipe. And, you know, I love that they're mothers, they're sister-in-laws, they're working together in a family business, which I always love. I don't know. I adore them. I love the brand. I'm sure you do too. It's inspirational, aspirational, but it's also relatable, wearable, and just beautiful quality. And you can see that they are what they're making. So very impressed with them. I hope you love this episode as much as I did. Don't forget to rate a review wherever you get your podcasts. I love reading them. And while you're at it, follow me on @RachelZoe and @ClimbingInHeelsPod on Instagram for more updates on upcoming guests, episodes, and all things CURATEUR. And I will see you next week.
Does money stress you out? Let Facet flip your financial chaos into clarity.
We feel way more confident and secure in our finances. And with that comes a sense of freedom.
Financial planning from Facet is here to help you improve your life today, tomorrow, and every day after that.
Facet was really the place where we saw all of the tools and the people coming together.
Visit Facet.com, FACET.com to learn more. This ad is sponsored by Facet. Facet Wealth is an SEC registered investment advisor. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities, nor is it investment, legal, or tax advice. These testimonials are from current Facet members who are not compensated. All opinions are their own and not a guarantee of a similar outcome.